Good morning, 9:30. So I'd like to call the meeting. We have a quorum. And this is regular open meetings of the United Laguna Mutual Board of Directors, a California nonprofit mutual benefit corporation. Today's date is Tuesday, September 9, 2025, time 9:30 a.m. Here we are meeting, boardroom, and also virtual meeting is available. Laguna Woods Village Community Center, 24351 El Toro Road, Laguna Woods, California. The purpose of this meeting is to conduct the regular United Mutual Board meeting in accordance with Civil Code 4930 and was hereby noticed in accordance with Civil Code 4920. Now let's have a pledge of allegiance to the flag led by Director Prater.
Ready to begin? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do we have any media besides TV6 camera? No. Let's move on to approval of agenda. Is there any objection to approve? Yes, Tom.
At the request of Board Member Sue Kwong, I would like to move to amend the agenda to have items 12B and 12C moved to immediately after item number 9. That would take a 2/3 vote of the board to move those items. The reason being that she would like to be able to vote on the budgets, the business plans.
Yes.
And may have difficulty being in the meeting on Zoom all the time.
Okay.
So that's my motion that would need a second.
Do we have a second? Okay. Jean is second. So are we ready to vote? If you consent a motion to amend the agenda, moving the items, raise your hand. Okay, unanimously carried. Thank you. Okay, is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended? Okay. Yes. Well, we need to have a motion.
I believe you have Sue Kwong raising her hand.
I believe she was just voting on that.
Okay, she's voting on it. All right, thank you. Is there any motion to approve agenda as amended?
I made a motion.
Okay, second? All right. Motion by Charlie and second by our Madam Secretary. So, any objection? No objection, so approved. Okay, item number 5, approval of the meeting minutes. Is there any correction, addition, subtraction, anything? Meeting minute correction? No objection, so carried. Okay, report of chair. Welcome to the United Board meeting. Well, election is still on, so residents, please vote if you haven't done so yet. We have 2.5 weeks left. So vote will be closed at the Thursday of the last week, 25th, I believe, 25th. And then tabulation will occur 26th on Friday. So please do so, and one vote per manor, even though you have a co-occupant or you have any partner to live together, we have only one vote counted for one resident. Some of residents are being confused and then they're asking questions. All right, so it is very important for us as a board, a healthy board, do the business for our corporation and for our resident. This is almost end of the board year. Actually, this September board meeting is the last business meeting of the year. And next board meeting on October 2nd, Tuesday, we will welcome the new board members, and we will say goodbye officially to outgoing members, right? And that will be the all business in October, and then regular business will start in November board meeting. So here we go. And today's important agenda is adoption of a new year 2026 budget and business plan. We have been working very hard for many years, Finance Committee and all our boards, and we revised 3 times and finally brought forth revision and final revision, version of the budget, and we are going to approve it today, adopt it. Because of our financial circumstances of our reserve fund is still low, and we are still dealing with the past year of large deficit and miscalculations, we tried our best to keep our expenses increase minimum, except the utilities and the union employee wages that we cannot control. We have not increased any MNC budget at all for the next year. As we all know that our properties are 60 years old, and MNC committee's work is the most important thing, but and also has the largest budget, but we just kept it flat. We have not increased anything. But yes, we heard from the residents who want better and more landscaping. The board heard you, and we decided to add additional cycles of ground maintenance that adds about a little more than $500,000 operating budget and increase about $7 PMPM on our assessment fee next year. And the rest of the increases are mostly additional reserve funds and GLF assessment fee. So we did our best. We will present the budget and the later on the agenda item. We hope that by this time next year, maintenance ticket and residents' complaints will decrease, apparently, and property value will be increased, and our community look beautiful and clean. When I started this year, board year, when I was elected, and I went back to my present comment that I made for the first board meeting, and my initiative at the present will be, I am reading from my previous comment. Number 1, to maintain financial stability. We all agree that finance is the most crucial and important matters on the health of organization, and it should be transparent and clear. And communication between the staff, the committee, board, and the members of the corporation is another critical issue. So we have worked hard. I already shared some of you. I'm not going to in details. So previous years, we had a large increase because of the reasons, but we try to make it, as slow as possible this year. But there are some more increase again. So we will continue to work on the committee, implementing all those ideas to increase our reserve level, but try to save our expense as much as possible. And my second initiative was to celebrate our diversity and unity together in this village as a whole, in terms of culture, talents, gifts, language, so on. According to the United Mutual 2024 survey performed the previous year, our residents came from all over the world, 5 continents, even from Antarctica. We need to learn from one another, share our gifts, celebrate our diversity, work, and live together for the betterment of our beautiful and beloved community and village. That initiative brought, as a result, to having a first Unity Festival. And it's approaching exactly 3 weeks from today, September 30th, from 4 to 7:30 in Clubhouse 2. And I put out the brochure there, so flyers there, so you can pick it up. And the tickets are available, $20 per person. And there will be 4 coupons, which will cover 4 different food trucks and ice cream truck. And ice cream is free. So please come. We have a beautiful band coming, all the cultural performances, music, food, and celebration together. And we will set up the big picnic tables over there too. So please bring your friends and bring your family together, have a fun together. That not only we celebrate just our diversity and culture, that incident hopefully in the future will bring some more revenues, because we are having a sponsorship and also donors. And today we're going to bring Diane, and she's going to share some of it. Anyway, thank you. And this will conclude my comment as the chair. Let's have an open forum. Oh, did we move? Oh, okay, after CEO. Okay, open forum, 3 minutes per speaker. At this time, members only may address the board of directors regarding items not on the agenda and within the jurisdiction of this board of directors. The board reserves the right to limit the total amount of time allotted for open forum to 30 minutes total. A member may speak only once during the forum, and speakers may not give their time to other people, no audio or video recording by attendees, and no rude or threatening comments. Members can attend the meeting by joining the Zoom link, which is on the agenda, or call the number 669-900-6833, or email meeting@vmsinc.org to have your message read during the open forum. Thank you. Do we have forum speakers?
Yes, first speaker is Carmen Micella.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to thank the board for all of your volunteer time. I am here on behalf of the Laguna Woods History Center. This History Center is located near the library and near Clubhouse 1, founded in 1977, operates as a nonprofit 501c3. All the funds are donated. There's no HOA fees involved in that facility. The building has an archival storage area that is climate controlled, and the duty of the History Center is to collect, conserve, and convey. And they collect materials, they conserve it, and then they keep it for future. How I got involved is about 5 years ago. I visited the History Center, got a tour of the archive, and was very impressed with the way they preserve all the materials with acid-free materials, lignin-free board, and paper and ink that they use to conserve all of the materials. In my previous life, I'd spent 20 years in this business of archiving and marketing and producing products to preserve photographs, photographic materials, and artwork. Some of my biggest mentors at the time was Ansel Adams, and Brett Weston, Bruce Barnbaum, John Sexton, Carmel Center for Photography, the Ansel Adams Museum in San Francisco. So I'd spent 20 years with these people archiving their products. So I was very impressed with the methods that they use at the History Center. They contain all the documents, videos, they digitize all the history for preservation. The History Center itself is run by all volunteers. Dean and Gail Dixon do a wonderful job, and plus all of the volunteers at the center. So feel free to stop in anytime between 11 and 1 during the week, and they are also open for appointments. You can call them, make an appointment, and I highly recommend you go in there and look through the archive. It's very, very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next speaker is Dorothy Picciolo.
Good morning, Board. Nice to see you again. I'm here on behalf of the team that is putting together another town hall. It's a village-wide town hall, and it's going to be this coming Monday, the 15th, at 10 a.m. in Clubhouse 3. The purpose of this town hall is to educate residents on the importance of governance and what, in fact, it means to us as members. We want to educate the community constantly so they understand how they can impact the decisions made. We spend a lot of time going over the structure between the mutual boards and GRF, but we want them to understand that their voice matters. We want them to become active and participate in our processes, from attending these board meetings to potentially considering committee assignments and maybe running for a board position. So we want them to feel empowered to do so. And we want them to know that their voice makes a difference, whether it's budgets or assessments or anything that runs this village. We are not your typical HOA, and it takes a lot of work. And for that work, we thank you because we know the commitment that you make. But we're committed to educating the community, and that's what we're doing this coming Monday at 10 a.m. at the Performing Arts Center. It's open to everybody. We have flyers at all the clubhouses, and we've had articles in the Globe, so we hope that everyone will come. In addition, on behalf of all of us that put together this activity, we want to remind everyone to echo Madam President's concerns. Go vote. Make sure you put your ballot in the envelope, right, Paul? In the envelope, okay.
Inside.
Because here it is, and it's the 25th. I know it's not tomorrow, but please be sure to vote because that's how your voice begins when you can be involved. And if you want to review the candidates that are running, look on YouTube. Meet the Candidates was out there. So we encourage you all to come. We welcome you to come visit us. Maggie came. We had a town hall in June in the same way, and we appreciated her participation with us. In addition, with the presentation, there will be a Q&A, and I will have former and current board members come forward and be available for the Q&A. So we know it's all mutuals. It isn't just United, it's all mutuals. So we welcome everyone. We welcome you to join us, and we look forward to seeing you this coming Monday at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next speaker is Chris Collins.
Good morning, Chris Collins, 3306Q, and I'm here with an update on the work of the Foundation of Laguna Woods Village, which we do on behalf of residents who are experiencing temporary financial emergency. So this is Bring a Friend, Make a Friend, the 2025 Good Neighbor Projects. The Foundation of Laguna Woods Village is proud to announce that there will be 10 clubs who have been selected to host the special Good Neighbor programs this coming month on National Good Neighbor Day. Given the success of last year's first Good Neighbor project, the foundation decided to repeat the effort to strengthen the sense of community here in the village. A sense of community develops in different ways, but the surest way is social interaction. For example, sharing experiences, making connections, discussing issues, solving problems. So the effects of the disruption and isolation that was caused by the pandemic still linger, and social interaction needs to be strengthened particularly as we age. The 10 clubs projects that were selected are all different. There's for different audiences and different activities and purposes. To illustrate, one involves bread baking, one is targeted to game players, one is focused on golf to build community ties, one is a sing-along with ice cream, while one appeals to cat lovers and another creates pet portraits. Specially designed and bequest funds are providing the project seed money. And all the activities will take place this September to celebrate National Good Neighbor Day, which the actual day is September 28th. Projects are happening throughout the month. Mm-hmm. So the hope is that everyone will find an activity or several activities and that suit them and bring a friend, make a friend, let's be community. Find the activity or activities this September that appeal to you and mark your calendar to join the following, which are listed in alphabetical order. The Globe, there have been many articles about this, and one of the things last year was that we knew that advertising of these projects was, we were learning how to do it. Anyway, so there are 10 different projects. I'll just read what the projects are, and then you can, look further. But anyway, the African American Club is doing an International Game Day. Camera Club's doing resident pet photographic portraits. Castle Music Social Club is hosting an outdoor picnic and jazz concert. Cat Club will sponsor a feline, it's called Passivity. Passivity. It's a play on words, pause. Anyway, they're going to be helping with going to the vet. Chinese American Club has a senior citizens festival for those 88 and older. Community Bridge Builders will host a sing-along. Fit Brain is doing a trivia game. And Men's 9-Hole Golf Club is hosting a speaker. Springboks Club is hosting bread baking. And Baha'i Club is hosting a program that's entitled Superheroes in Our Lives. So you can check further, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next speaker is Kathy Bravata.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. Okay, the pictures that I'm showing, that I've taken pictures of, normally I would not concern myself with this because in cul-de-sac 85, as Georgiana knows, we have difficulty parking. And about 3 weeks ago or so, my unit faces 866, and on either side I can see the parking. And security was there giving a ticket to a white vehicle because the vehicle had driven the wrong way. So I did go downstairs and I took a few pictures of some of the golf carts that park directly in front of the do not enter sign. And I know you can actually see where it says one way, but depending on the time of day and the sun, you can't read the signs or the arrows that are on the street. And just the other day, I went down and took a picture of the same spot with two other cars that park so close that they come across. So I guess what I'm asking, or would like to ask, is that in that one small section, if you could put a red no parking zone so that people, as Georgiana knows, when you come into our area, when the golf carts or even the regular vehicles will park straight on that sidewalk, you cannot see the do not enter sign. And while that person who did get the ticket more than likely does deserve it, I'm just wondering if the sign wasn't blocked, and they simply didn't pay any attention in that area. So if you would, I'd just like you to consider putting a red zone in that one small area so that it's not a hazard, you know, from people, some coming this way and some coming that way. And for an example, when you do the one way and you go this way, the vehicles that park directly at the right turn or at the left turn, when they're coming home or leaving, the cars that, when you turn right, will come out of their spot and drive the wrong way rather than going all the way around the cul-de-sac. And the cars that are here to the left, instead of going all the way around, they drive into the do not enter to park in their parking spot. This is, I've lived there for 14 years. This has gone on. It is what it is. But I do think it's dangerous for visitors who don't see the sign and everything. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Two more speakers. Next speaker is Nancy Carlson.
Morning, everybody. So I want to share some good news. We've been doing nothing but the last 2 years having to level assessments to residents, which is never a fun thing to do and always makes us feel a little scared when we walk up to a residence and they want to give us their opinion about just that event. Well, at the recent holiday, I had an opportunity to attend a number of events with residents. Some still think I'm active director. You know how that can happen. Nonetheless, the feedback was finally something material that we can see of benefit to us. And it's the addition of the landscaping cycle. So I want to say kudos to the board. I want to say kudos to Director Quam for putting together a superb strategic plan presentation that integrated the department at BMS who handled the landscaping and made it clear and convincing to the board itself as well as to the residents the benefit of all of that. And you know, there was a silver lining lesson in that event because directors came into the lounge and bravely said they were opposed to it before coming in, which is sometimes a little bit telling because people think we do block voting and are all scheming in the back rooms. The reality is, it really made a difference to hear that, as well as recognize that we shouldn't be making decisions before we hear the presentations. It's as simple as that. So anyway, that's good news, and there's a silver lining lesson. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
last
you.
speaker is Diane Phelps.
Good morning. Diane Phelps. I am here as the president. This is really high for me. As president of the Village Community Fund, also called BCF. So what is BCF? It's a 501c3 charitable nonprofit corporation, which means the donations made to it are tax deductible to the extent allowed by law. We provide support for programs, services, and facilities that enrich the lives of older adults in Laguna Woods. So what does that mean? Well, what it means is that clubs or groups come to us with a plan to raise funds, and we provide them with a way for the donations to be tax deductible. Our expenses are minimal and are generally paid for by donations from the members of our boards of director. So the only fee that is passed on to the club or the group is the PayPal or credit card fee that we're charged. Other than that, all donations are given to the club or the group that's raising the funds. We keep an accounting of all donations we receive by fundraising project, so a group can be assured that they're getting all the donations that are due them. So what's new? Well, in 2025, we've expanded our focus to include the governance boards. That is, we're offering our services to GRF, Third, United, the Towers, and even BMS if they're interested or have a need. We're happy to say that we do have a fundraising that there is a fundraising campaign that we're involved in with the governance boards, and we call it the Unity Fund. And as Mickey mentioned, for the first time, United, Third, and GRF have collaborated on a fundraising event that's coming up soon, September the 30th from 4 to 7:30 p.m. at Clubhouse 2. And as she mentioned, it'll be a vibrant evening of live music, global cuisine. You can buy a flavor tour passport ticket to sample international food from the 4 different food trucks. And we are not handling the ticket sales, but you purchase those from Clubhouse too. But if you just want to support the event, maybe you can't go, or maybe you can go, but you think it's such a neat event and you want there to be more of them, if you want to make a tax-deductible donation, you can do so by going to our website, villagecommunityfund.org. If you go to our website, you will see that we have about 10 other active fundraising campaigns with Laguna Woods Village clubs that you can donate to. And a couple of examples of those would be the Camera Club that's raising money for a photo lab modernization project. We also have Video Club is raising money to cover some production costs they have for some plans, some programs they have. Community Bridge Builders is on there. The Help the Herd has already raised $50,000 and are still working on more to help the Equestrian Center and the GRF horses. So please visit our website. If you're a club that wants to, if you're a club that wants our help, then you can give us a call at 949-467-1030, or you can email us at villagecommunityfund@gmail.com. If you want, like I say, if you want to make a donation, do it on the website. It also has, you can use a credit card, you can Zelle us, you can send us a donation, all that's on the website. And just to say, we are obviously different than the foundation, so we're a different organization. So, thank you.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you for helping us. All right. Any more? No more. Then let's go to 8B, agenda item, respond to past open forum speakers.
What about response to current?
Oh, yeah. Is there any current response? Oh, okay. Right. Okay.
I would.
Yes, Jeannie.
I would, to Kathy, regarding the parking challenge you're having in cul-de-sac 85 with the sign. You are not alone. Every cul-de-sac, as we know, are having parking challenges. My question would be, instead of one less parking spot, granted it's not a parking spot, but by default, what if we raised the sign? It's low to the ground. Could we not raise it up so that even if a car was sitting in front of it, the sign would be visible?
And Security Chief Nunez indicated that he's going out to take a look
Okay.
to see what he recommends. So
Okay.
thank you.
And with regards to people not obeying the rules, I got nothing. Okay,
Yeah.
so.
Okay. Thank you. Any more CEO response?
That's what I was going to
Okay.
share.
Oh, good. All right. Any other response to the current speakers? Okay, let's move on to,
Well, I was going to say, also refreshing the paint on the sidewalk there that says one way, I assume. That
Okay.
people will do what they will do.
She got nothing either.
The arrows and everything, they're very faded.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to B then. Director Costello, please.
We have quite a few of them, so settle in. Grace Stensel commented on the creation of a disaster preparedness task force committee. Her comments were noted. Joan Millman spoke on behalf of the History Center and invited board members to visit and learn more about the community's history. Comments were noted. James Jones raised parking concerns and requested that the board revise rules to allow temporary parking in secondary locations such as the clubhouses. Comments were noted. Nancy Carlson, former director, thanked the board for their kindness and understanding as she stepped down due to health-related issues. Her comments were noted. I'll skip those for a second. Roberta Burke shared a positive experience with a vendor and VMS staff during a recent termite fumigation and inquired about how long termites had been in the building and who inspects the structures afterward to ensure soundness. Comments were noted. Soheil Collage reported noise issues from a neighbor and expressed concern that complaints to the compliance department have not been addressed. Compliance is aware of the issues between the members at Building 884, and the matter is being handled in accordance with the required protocol. Chris Collins commented on the work of the Foundation of Laguna Woods. Dick Rader announced an upcoming village-wide town hall meeting on governance scheduled for 10 a.m. Monday, September 15th at the Performing Arts Center. Bob Healy, Donna Carbach, Ann Beltran, Gary Serbanuk, Barbara Siri, and Joe Siri all expressed support for the GRF's solar energy proposal, and those comments were noted.
Thank you. All right. Let's move on to number 9, agenda item, CEO report.
Thank you, President, members of the board. It's my honor to give you a brief update this morning. I want to cover key items in the community, beginning with the village survey. Paul's going to put the slides up. There is a new online resident satisfaction survey that simplifies sharing feedback and experiences year-round. The short survey replaces the once-a-year format that you might be familiar with and can be completed any time. The survey is anonymous, requires no login or resident ID, and works on any device. It's available in English and other languages through Google Translate. To access the survey, visit the village website, click the purple Contact Us button in the top menu bar, and select Resident Survey under We Want to Hear From You. Responses will be reviewed regularly with key trends reported to leadership. Resident input helps us identify what works well and where improvements are needed. The Security Services Department is hosting a Good Neighbor Captain meeting at Clubhouse 2 on Tuesday, October 7th from 10 a.m. to noon. The registration form is available on the village website. The Good Neighbor Captain program builds resilience by empowering residents to support one another during emergencies. For more information, you may email disasterprep@vmsinc.org or call 949-597-4237. The Great Shakeout 2025, the statewide earthquake drill is on Tuesday, October 16th at 10:16 a.m. in the morning. Residents are encouraged to join as part of their preparedness plans. Why participate? By practicing now, you'll have a safer response later. To prepare, identify your drop, cover, and hold spot, check emergency supplies, and update contacts with family and friends. For more information, visit shakeout.org/California. Rain gutter cleaning in the mutuals is underway. This is the annual cleaning for manor rain gutters. It's expected to run now through December. Schedules are subject to change based on weather and other factors. Find the 2025 rain gutter cleaning schedule at lagunawoodsvillage.com/services/maintenance, community maintenance schedules. During the warmer months, we are reminding residents to please not water a tree that you see dropping leaves. Heat and soil trigger natural leaf shedding. Trees shed older, shaded leaves to save water. Nutrients are pulled back into the tree first. Outer canopies stay green while the tree remains healthy. Hose watering during heat harms the roots. Shallow watering trains the roots to be near the soil surface. Moisture at the trunk encourages rot and disease. Village irrigation provides the deep watering that our trees need. VMS recently celebrated an exciting milestone in the ERP project with the implementation of accounts payable automation. We launched the new AP invoice processing system last Tuesday, September 2nd. The initiative brings out immediate structure, efficiency, and accountability to one of our most essential financial processes by delivering electronic approvals with real-time status tracking, automated workflows that reduce manual effort and error, and centralized reporting dashboards for instant visibility into our AP activity. In terms of the high-speed fiber project, Ting has started beta installations to test the overall installation processes, including communication, pre-wiring buildings, install timing, and Wi-Fi quality. To date, 25 of the 31 beta installations have been completed. The beta installs have been successful, with preliminary speeds of up to 2,100 megabits per second being reported. The Ting team will make adjustments from learnings prior to moving into full installs later in September, including pre-wiring of buildings and sizing crews to ensure 50-plus installs can be completed daily. As the fiber project moves forward, a common question is about pre-wiring. The Ting Internet pre-wiring process is installation of fiber cable on the outside of your building before installation can occur in your installation appointment. Work is on the outside only. No one enters your home. Please keep gates unlocked and allow exterior access so the work can be completed. Once pre-wiring is complete, Ting will cover and secure wires on the exterior with molding. As a friendly reminder, please ensure your mobile phone number and email addresses are updated with resident services so that Ting can contact you. You can email resident services at vmsint.org or call 949-597-4600. There's also an opportunity to meet Ting representatives and resident ambassadors coming up at the Unity Festival that has been mentioned, Monday, September 30th at 4 p.m. on the Clubhouse 2 lawn. You can visit with these representatives. Resident volunteer ambassadors and Ting team members are available to share details about fiber service, answer questions, and help neighbors connect. And then at the Clubhouse 2 outdoor concert on Thursday, September 18th from 4 to 6 p.m., the Ting members and ambassadors will present their mobile trailer and information table, ready to share helpful information about fiber internet services. Lastly, as both President Choi Ho and Diane Phelps mentioned, I offer a reminder about the Unity Festival coming up. The festival takes place on Tuesday, September 30th at 4 p.m. at Clubhouse 2. There's a tasting passport available for purchase for the 4 gourmet food trucks. There's also music, dance, and culture. Tickets are available at the Clubhouse 2 office. Shuttle service will run from the Performing Arts Center and Community Center from 3 to 8 p.m., so you can park away from the clubhouse. Picnicking is welcome. You can bring seating, and setup begins at 2 p.m. No alcohol or outside glass is permitted. And that concludes my update this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's move on then now. Now the new agenda. Yes? Question? Yes.
Going back, thank you very much for that always insightful report. Rain gutter cleaning. I've seen some stuff on social media about people saying that they were upset that their items were damaged or dirtied during the process. My comment is that's why we give you a schedule so that you know approximately when the team is coming out. Can you explain what a resident could do preemptively to protect their items from this very dirty process?
Certainly they can cover them if covers are available for whatever it is, or simply move your belongings away from any place that the gutter downwash might hit.
So basically common sense. Oh, thank you. All right.
Thank you. Yes, Lorette.
I just would like, first of all, to thank you for the 8B automation. I think it's very encouraging to hear that, and I thank you again for that. Also, glad to hear that the beta installations are going well for Ting. I just have a question regarding that, regarding the process of selecting the residents associated with the beta. How did that go about? How was the selection process? Thank you.
I will have to get that information and share it with you later this afternoon.
Thank you. Any other question for Siobhan? No more question. Okay, now then let's move on to 12B. Item 12B was moved, and the resolution is on the page 5 of 22 of 12B agenda item. So if you could locate that resolution, and our Madam Secretary is ready, then please read Resolution 2026 Business Plan Resolution 5 of 22.
B. Here we go.
Okay.
Resolution 0125XX, 2026 Business Plan Resolution. Resolved September 9th, 2025, that the business plan for this corporation for the year 2026 is hereby adopted and approved. And resolved further that pursuant to the said business plan, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby estimates that the net sum of $63,198,611 is required by the corporation to meet in round numbers. Is required by the corporation to meet the United Laguna Woods Mutual net operating expenses and non-operating fund contributions for the year 2026. In addition, the sum of $19,871,909 is required for the corporation to meet the Golden Rain Foundation and Golden Rain Foundation Trust operating expenses and non-operating fund contributions for the year 2026. Therefore, a total of $83,070,520 is required to be collected from and paid by the members of the corporation as monthly assessments. And resolved further that the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby approves the expenditures in the amount of $16,554,806 from the reserve fund and $16,600,000 from the property taxes fund, and resolved further that the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby determines and establishes monthly assessments of the corporation as shown on each member's breakdown of monthly assessments for the year 2026, inclusive of property taxes and property insurance as filed with the records of the corporation, and set assessments to be due and payable by the members of the corporation on the first day of each month, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. I move this resolution.
Do we have any second? Okay, Jeannie has a second. Any discussion, question? Our financial director, Mr. Wilmers, is standing there.
Good morning.
Just in case. Even though we have worked so hard, we met 4 times, right? And by the time our board, we all know what we are doing to adopt this new budget. Any question? No question, right? Yes?
We do have one member comment, Ann Beltran.
Okay.
First of all, thank you for all the rigorous work you have done on this budget and for your attention to our financial stability. It's painful, but it's so important. I especially am here to thank you for increasing the landscaping cycles from 4 cycles a year to 6. As a landscaping advisor for the past several years, I've heard many laments and complaints from the residents. I've heard Kurt Wieman from the landscaping department over and over again show us the relation of the number of tickets to the cycles, especially now with 3rd having gone to 6 cycles. So the fact that you've heard all that and made a very difficult decision to increase the cycles to 6, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to join Nancy's praise of Sue Guam and her leadership of this issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We do have Director Kwam wants to speak, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not sure if this is the place to do this, but again, I want to echo Ann's sentiments and our members who come to our committee. Thank you so much for increasing the number of shrub bed cleanings. We're all looking forward to that. I wanted to ask if this dollar amount includes the reserve dollar amount, which I assume it does, and what are we putting in for the reserves? I think it was, if I understand it correctly, it was kind of stable, and now we're trying to, not stable, but static. We weren't dramatically increasing that, even though I think we might need to. So could you please help me out with that? I'm a little confused.
Yes, Tom has a comment.
Yeah, Sue, I think that's the next item. The reserve fund will be a separate item on 12C, and this is just the operating portion right now.
Okay, thank you very much. And,
And-
you know, maybe when Steve does his presentation, he can speak to that, but at the next one. Thank you.
If I may just add a quick clarification. So the business plan includes both your operating expenses and your contributions for your reserve. So
Right.
to address her comment, yes. So the 30-year plan is going to be beginning 2027 and beyond. So everything that you see here is going to be for the 2026 calendar year. With regards to the question in terms of it being static, you're being assessed $31.50 per man per month for your reserves, and that is an increase from previous years. However, the intent of that increase was to stop the practice of spending more than you're paying into the fund. So this is the first year where your reserve contributions are matching your spend, and then that is at the direction of the board. That is going to be the direction on a go-forward basis at the first iteration of your future business plans.
Right. Any question? Okay. Tom?
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you to Steve and Jose and your whole staff. This has been a more exciting process this time. And Siobhan, thank you because for keeping the operating expenses down as low as possible. I think you should be commended on the amount of increase in the operating fund especially. So thank you.
Any other comment or question from the board? Okay, then let's vote. All right, we need to vote by the, yeah, okay. So if, I don't.
Sue, can I have your vote, please?
It is a yes vote.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was trying to get to the button.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. 8, 9. Any extension?
Georgiana.
Georgiana? Okay, 10 to nothing. Motion passes. Thank you very much for all the board and finance committee for working. All right, let's move on to next item, 12C. It's on the page 3 of 16. 12C, page 3 of 16, the resolution, please.
Resolution 0125XX, 2026 Reserve Fund Resolution. Whereas Civil Code 5570 requires specific reserve funding disclosure statements for common interest developments, whereas planned assessment or other contributions to reserves must be projected to ensure balances will be sufficient at the end of each year to meet the corporation's obligation for repair and or replacement of major components during the next 30 years, and now therefore be it resolved September 9, 2025, that pursuant to Civil Code 5570, the board hereby adopts the 30-year reserve plan, funding plan attached for fiscal year 2026, and resolve further that officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. I move this resolution.
Any second? Charlie has seconded. Any question? Yes, Murat.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. As we noted before, the funding of the reserve is declining from 22% to a low of 16% by 2029, and that is primarily.
Murat, can you come
move
closer
to
the
your mic?
microphone? Yeah, please.
Thank you.
It's already on. So the the funding percentage is dropping from 22% to 16% by 2029, and that is primarily due to expenditure increases of $3 million extra 2 years in a row in 2027 and 2028. In the absence of any commentary with the attachment here, I would like to ask the question as to whether AB 1572 is the primary driver of the $6 million extra in expenditure in 27-28, and if not, what those factors are. Thanks.
Sure. We have a number of expenditures. So every year we're required to engage in this reserve study. We have a third-party provider that comes out and does it. Every 3 years, which took place this year, they have to come out and do a physical inspection. So they went out and conducted that study, and they've made a determination that based upon the components that are in the reserve study that we need to do, again, the additional $6 million over the next few years. So part of that has to do with the AB, 1572. But a lot of it has to do with just repairs that are going to be taking place over the next couple of years. I don't have the specific details in terms of what precisely what those repairs are. So it's included in the business plan on the subsequent pages. But I can get a refined report for you at the next finance meeting. With regards to it, the reserve funding decreasing to 16.2 by 2029, I will say that if you were to compare it to the reserve study that's in force right now, in 2029, that percentage was 14.9. So the changes that you have put in place this year are improving those efforts in the future. And my guess, it's going to be dependent upon the actions of the board in future years, but I would anticipate that you're not going to dip to that level, right? Because on a go-forward basis, every year, the expectation is we're going to start with your funding matches your reserve contributions.
That's right. So had we not passed that resolution to make sure that expenditures and assessments equal each other, that percentage would have been even lower.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. It would continue to decline. But yeah, based upon the actions of the board, I think you're in a good shape. And it'll continue to improve over the next few years.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Any more questions? Yes? Sue? Okay. Sue?
I have a question, and thank you for taking the question from the audience here. I wanted to ask Steve, AB 1572, I thought we did not have any additional funds going in to meet that at this point because the rules and regulations have not been adopted. And I have encouraged the board to think about adding money to the reserves so that it isn't a big hit in the future once those rules and regulations are implemented. So was there money added this year for that? Because I thought there were no monies added this year for that.
So part of the reason why we increased your funding to your contingency fund last year is, in 2025, it's currently $1.50. And for 2026, it is $3, so a $1.50 increase. Part of that is just to bring the balance up to what it should be, which is approximately $2 million in the next couple of years. But additionally, it's also to offset any anticipated expenditures that are coming in out of the pipe, such as 1572. And once again, with regards to the breakout as to what the $6 million is over the next couple of years, so I will provide that once again at the next finance meeting.
Thank you. Any other question, comment? Otherwise, are we ready to vote? All right. If you consent the motion, please vote yes. Otherwise, no.
Sue, can we have your vote, please? Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. Motion passes. Thank you very much again, Steve, and all the board for your hard work. All right, let's move on to then go back to consent calendar. Agenda number 10. All matters listed under the consent calendar are recommended for action by committees and will be enacted by the board by one motion. In the event that an item is removed from the consent calendar by a member of the board, such item shall be the subject of further discussion and action by the board. I think we have only one consent calendar this time. So, do you want to remove or not? I mean, do you want to discuss or not? Okay, no objection. So, approved. All right, let's move on to unfinished business. A, disciplinary update report. Hello, Francis, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So
We have a lot today, too.
Yes, I do. Bless you. So before you is the disciplinary update report. It includes a table of a breakdown of the disciplinary cases handled by the Compliance Division for the months of June to August of this year.
11. Okay, the agenda item 11A, page 1 of 2, right?
Correct. Thank you. So we started the month of August with 315 cases and ended the month with 341 cases. The noteworthy items that I want to bring to your attention is that we had an increase in abandoned vehicles, animal nuisance, and maintenance-related items. Maintenance-related items are mostly moisture intrusion events where we're trying to gain access to the unit. And then we have seen a decrease in alteration maintenance and clutter items, specifically common area clutter. So that concludes my report, and I'm available for questions if the board has any.
Any question, Tony?
Thank you, Madam President. Could you explain to me what you mean by attracting wildlife?
Feeding them.
Attracting wildlife seems to be a very hot topic this past month. So we did separate those type of violations. It's either someone who is purposefully feeding the squirrels or the animals, the rodents, the pests, and then attracting coyotes. So they leave food outside of their patio or the common area that literally attracts the wildlife. It could also be a resident who has who's been approved to have fruit trees, who has not picked up the fruit trees, and hence by default it attracts the wildlife. And it also could be overgrown bushes or anything like that that would allow coyotes or squirrels or any outside wildlife to become closer to the buildings.
That covers a lot of sins. And the barking dogs, I wonder how many barking dogs are dogs warning us of coyote presence. Thank you.
Well, thank you for categorizing separately that one. I mean, there are residents who very, diligently reporting all the time, and they are now happy to, put special attention. Yes.
Thanks, Francis, what is the feeding wildlife number?
It's right here. We had 14 cases in August.
No, I mean, what is the number of the resolution?
Oh, there's multiple. There's 3 areas that we could go. There's 3 areas in your rules and regulations that deal with attracting the wildlife. 2 of them are found in your landscape manual, which is the overgrown fruit trees and not pruning the fruit trees, and then also your nuisance violation. Your nuisance violation has it, and your clutter violation also has it.
Good. Thank you very much.
I have a question. The maintenance category, the number is significantly up from 16 to 26. What kind of maintenance problem?
The maintenance-related items are mostly moisture intrusion events, where the moisture intrusion team tries to access the unit for either inspection or the dry down equipment. If they get resistance from the member, then they escalate the item to our department, and we act on it swiftly. Both departments act on it swiftly because obviously if there is a moisture intrusion item, we definitely want to act on it right away. So you did see an increase with them. We do encounter the majority of the notices that are sent out related to moisture intrusion and allowing access to staff to go in there do get results pretty early on. There's very few that do make it all the way to the level of a hearing.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Ginny?
Similar to that, I noticed a huge increase in the abandoned vehicles. Are just more reporting? Are people just getting tired of trying to find a place to park and they see cars just sitting there? I mean, what would you attribute it to?
We haven't found a trend yet for the report for the abandoned vehicles. So at this point, we're relying or erring on the side that there has been more reporting. Okay. It's not one resident who brought in a flurry of vehicles for us to see the uptake. It's overall.
Many frequent flyers.
Yes. So we're going to continue monitoring to see what's the avenue of it coming in.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Tom?
Yeah. For instance, on the, especially on the attracting wildlife, but on all of these, are most all of them a result of a complaint coming from a member, or is our VMS staff identifying the problems and responding to it?
It's both. We do have a couple members who are very actively involved in reporting the cases to us across both Mutuals, United, and Third. And we also have a very great relationship with the landscape team. So when the landscape supervisors or the foremen see it, they'll snap a picture of it and send it to us to start the process. So those two avenues are the strongest ones for attracting the wildlife.
Thank you. Any more questions for Francis on this matter? Okay. Let's move on to next item, 11B.
Yes.
As in boy. Okay.
Madam President,
Yes.
may I ask Francis a question?
Sure.
I wondered if, do we have to give a warning first? I have seen people, not the people, but the dog food that has been left out on the sidewalks for coyotes. And so if we could catch that person or persons who is doing that, do they have to receive a warning first? I would believe that with all the notices that we've had in the papers and our communications, that would count for a notice. Or do we have to catch them the second time they do that to find them?
So your member disciplinary process requires due process. And this board has defined due process by one courtesy notice, which is a softer tone notice, which is the first notice to the member advising them of the violation and requesting compliance. If the violation is not cured, then they do receive a final notice, which is much more stern language that's included, and advising the member that failure to comply will result in a further action by way of a hearing. And obviously, if they don't comply, then it does move forward to a hearing. This board does have the discretion that if you choose to be more aggressive or more assertive more aggressive is the appropriate word, not assertive. You're actually a very good assertive board. But if you want to be more aggressive with one area, you could and just direct staff to go straight to a final notice, stern language, and then move it forward to a hearing if they do not cure the violation. If the member at any point prior to the hearing does cure the violation, then by law we're not allowed to bring them forward for a hearing unless the pattern's been established.
Thank you. All right. Ready to move on to 12B. Page 3 of 12, resolution, member disciplinary process.
11B or 12B?
11B.
11B.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Resolution 0125XX, member disciplinary process. Whereas the Board of Directors of the United Laguna Woods Mutual has an equal interest and duty under law to ensure that the management of the community's affairs is carried out in adherence with the provisions of the Davis-Sterling Act And whereas the Board of Directors updated the member disciplinary process to align with Civil Code Section 5850 as amended by Assembly Bill 130. Now therefore be it resolved, September 9, 2025, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby approves the updated member disciplinary process as attached to the official minutes of this meeting, and resolve further that Resolution 010480, adopted July 13, 2004, is hereby superseded and canceled, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of this corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. The initial 28-day notification for member review and comments to comply with Civil Code 4360 has been satisfied. I move this resolution.
And a second? Okay, Charlie seconded. We need to vote, right?
Sue, can I have your vote, please?
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion passes. Thank you. Let's move on to next item, 11C. 11C, page 3 of 6. Resolution, health and safety violation written findings.
Resolution 0125XX, health and safety violation written findings. Whereas pursuant to Civil Code Section 5850C, fines levied after July 1st, 2025 may not exceed $100 per violation unless in the United Laguna Woods Mutual United Board of Directors Board, sole and reasonable discretion, the violation may result in an adverse health or safety impact on the common area or another member's property, and whereas the board must make written findings in an open meeting that certain violations create an adverse health or safety impact on United property or another member's property, to levy fines greater than $100 per violation, and whereas United's current schedule of monetary penalties contains fines that exceed $100 for certain violations, many violations involve adverse health and safety impacts to United property or another member's property. Now therefore be it resolved, September 9, 2025, that the board hereby finds the following. A health or safety violation refers to any condition, action, or omission by a member, resident, or their guests that the United Board, in its reasonable discretion, determines creates a significant risk in the physical well-being, safety, or health of individuals or the integrity of United property. The United Board finds the following violation types are considered health or safety violations. Potential for harm, conditions or actions that could reasonably result in physical injury, illness, or property damage. Impact on community welfare, issues that compromise the safety and livability of those within United. Compliance with codes and standards, violations of local, state, or federal health and safety regulations, building codes, or fire codes, as identified by relevant authorities or professional assessments. Community standards, conditions that deviate from the United's governing documents and create health or safety concerns. Resolved further, the board finds, based on the above criteria established to determine health and safety violations, that the following violations within United's current schedule of monetary penalties and/or schedule of traffic monetary penalties are considered health or safety violations. Any egregious or criminal offenses. Any alteration violations that are considered health or safety violations based on the above criteria. Any clutter restrictions violations that are considered health or safety violations based on the above criteria. Any landscape restrictions violations that are considered health or safety violations based on the above criteria. Any maintenance violations that are considered health or safety violations based on the above criteria, which specifically include, but are not limited to, failure to correct fire, safety, health hazards, or any other dangerous conditions, any nuisance harassment restrictions violations that are considered health or safety violations based on the above criteria. Any illegal activities or violations of the portable storage container policy that are considered health or safety violations based on the above criteria. Any occupancy restrictions violations that are considered health and safety violations based on the above criteria. Any pet restrictions violations that are considered health or safety violations based on the above criteria. All traffic rules and regulations violations that are considered health or safety violations based on the above criteria. Resolved further, the United Board incorporates by reference the schedule of monetary penalties and schedule of traffic monetary penalties into these written findings and the open board meeting minutes, and resolve further that United Board reserves the right to amend these written findings of health and safety violations at any time, and also reserves the right to make specific written findings about any violations of the governing documents that occur and their impact on health or safety, and resolve further any fines or penalties levied before July 1st, 2025 are not subject to the requirements of AB 130 and its amendments to Civil Code Section 5850 and 5855. These findings, therefore, do not apply retroactively, and all fines and penalties levied before July 1, 2025 are unaffected, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. This is the August initial notification. 28 notification for member review and comments to comply with Civil Code 4360 has been satisfied. I move this resolution.
Any second? Okay, Jeannie seconded. Let us vote. No question, right? Okay, we have already discussed with it. Okay, let's move on.
Sue, can I have your vote, please?
Yeah, Maggie, can you reread that?
Which part? Yes, that was a long resolution.
Director Quam, can I have your vote, please?
Anybody missing? One more.
So I will, let's see here, we're still missing Vidya's vote.
Sue.
And I'll mark Sue as absent since she's not responding.
Okay, all
Okay.
right, probably she's off.
Nine.
All right, thank you, motion passes. Thank you, and let's move on to next one, 11E. E, is it?
D.
Oh. 11D has been done.
Donut.
Yes. 11B. Oh,
11D.
monetary penalty, all right.
Wait a minute.
Okay, 11D, right, page 3 of 18, I'm sorry. 11D,
Right.
as in David, page 3 of 18, schedule of monetary penalties.
Resolution 0125XX, Schedule of Monetary Penalties. Whereas the Schedule of Monetary Penalties is required per Civil Code to identify violations and potential penalties which may be imposed upon a member following a disciplinary hearing by the Board of Directors for violations of the governing documents and rules and regulations by a member, co-occupant, guest, or lessee, and whereas the Board of Directors update the schedule of monetary penalties to align with changes to Civil Code Section 5850, as amended by Assembly Bill 130, limits fines imposed to $100 per violation unless the violation meets the criteria for health and safety violation. Now, therefore be it resolved September 9, 2025, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby approves the amended schedule of monetary penalties as attached to the official meeting minutes. Resolved further that Resolution U-9699, adopted September 10, 1996, is hereby superseded and canceled, and resolved further that the officers or agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. The August initial notification, 28-day notification for member review and comments to comply with Civil Code 4360 has been satisfied. I move this resolution.
Any second? Okay, Jeannie has seconded. Any question, discussion? Otherwise, let's vote.
Sue, if you're still there, can I have your vote, please? So I'll just mark her absent again.
Okay. Motion passes. Thank you. Thank you, Francis. I think you did wonderful job.
Great.
Thank
That's
you.
long work.
And I'll see you in a couple minutes because I have one more.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, the governing doc, right?
Okay.
All right, let's move on to 11E, United 2025 Investment Policy. It's 11E, page 5 of 26.
Resolution 0125XX, United 2025 Investment Policy. Whereas on July 29, 2025, the United Finance Committee approved the United 2025 Investment Policy with the purpose to provide guidelines and limitations for the responsible management of cash available for investment, which applies to all financial assets of United, including all cash in investment accounts, both discretionary and non-discretionary, and whereas that all investments on behalf of this corporation must be made with the underlying principles in the following order of priority. Number 1, safety. Number 2, liquidity where applicable. And number 3, yield. And whereas it is the policy of United to invest members' monies in a manner which will provide the maximum security of principal while meeting the cash flow needs of United. In addition, these investments must conform to all state of California statutes governing the investment of common interest development monies. Every effort must be made to match maturities to known cash flow needs. Now, therefore, be it resolved, September 9, 2025, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby approves the United 2025 Investment Policy as attached, and resolve further that Resolution 012320, adopted on April 11, 2023, is hereby superseded and canceled. Resolved further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. The August initial notification, 28 notification for member review and comments to comply with Civil Code 4360 has been satisfied. I move this resolution.
Is there any second? Charlie had seconded. All right, any questions, discussion? Okay, let us vote then. If you consent to motion, say yes. Otherwise, say no.
Sue, if you're still there, can you please vote, please?
Okay, I believe that's it. Our motion passes. Thank you very much. All right, we finished unfinished business. Now let's move on to new business 12, town halls. Director Costello.
Well, in light of the fact that we have a brand spanking new budget for 2026, our town hall this Friday, 9/12, will be a review of the 2026 budget and associated assessments for our United members. It is 2 o'clock in the pack.
Thank you. Okay, 12, B, and C has been done, so let's move on to D, as in David. 12D, entertain a motion to approve the amended membership election and voting policy. Francis. Okay, so resolution. Let's see.
Do you want the secretary to read?
Yes, Secretary, can you read resolution 12D, page 5 of 50?
Resolution 0125XX, Membership Election and Voting Policy. Whereas the board recognized the need to amend the membership election and voting policy to align with the current California Civil Code and provide clarity, now therefore be it resolved November 13th, 2025, that the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby approves the revised membership election and voting policy as attached to the official minutes of this meeting. And resolve further that Resolution 01-2240, approved June 14th, 2022, is hereby superseded in its entirety and canceled. And resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. September initial notification. Should the board endorse the proposed revisions, staff recommends that a motion be made and seconded to accept the resolution and allow discussion to ensure the resolution reads to the satisfaction of the board. Staff then recommends that a board member postpones the resolution to the next available board meeting with no less than 28 days from the postponement to comply with Civil Code 4360. I move this resolution.
Any second? Charlie, seconded? All right, any question, discussion? And since this is initial notice, can our compliance director explain, guide us? What's been changing, please?
Yes, thank you. So the Governing Docs Review Committee has spent an extensive amount on this document. They have reviewed all the language to ensure that it conforms to Civil Code and provides clarity, or provides language that's more for clarity purposes. So the three things that I want to, or the three key changes that I want to bring to your attention is that on page 25 of 50, filling vacancies between general elections was added to provide more concise information for the board and the membership. On page 27 of 50, membership list, that there was language that was added to ensure that any candidate that does receive a membership list from the managing agent is only used for the purposes of the election process and not for any other purpose. And then the third item that I do want to bring to your attention is page 3450, which is election by acclamation. This whole section was added to make sure that both the membership and the board had a detailed outline of what it looks like to vote by acclamation. So that concludes my report, and I'm available for questions if the board has any.
Okay, any questions from the board? Comment, discussion? I know governing the committee was so hard. I tried to be there and then tried to be a part of the discussion, but again, with the staff help. I mean, now, we had a major review and new and edited part of it. Yes, Charlie?
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to thank this committee and the group that put this together. I think it's very important, especially the changes that were made, that everybody is aware of these changes, and these are very positive changes. It is all about being clear what we are doing during elections and policies to find. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that these were very positive and thoroughly looked at as changes. So thank them.
Thank you. Any other comments, question? Thank you, Chair, Madam Chair again, for the committee. And if there is no further question or comment, let us vote.
Motion passes.
Motion passes. Thank you.
And
Thank
Director
you.
Quam looks like she stepped away from the meeting.
She's on the road.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Now, Francis, you could be taking off.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to next agenda item. Item number is 12E. Entertain a motion to approve the revision to Standard 13 lifts and lift policy, which is 12E as in Alice, page 5 of 24 resolution.
This is 12E for elevator.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Resolution 0125XX, revised elevator platform lift policy. Whereas the United Laguna Woods Mutual recognizes the need to review standards and policies as necessary, and whereas the Mutual recognizes the need to revise Standard 13, lifts and lift policy, and whereas the Mutual agrees that in order to provide updates and clarity, the standard and associated policy have been combined into one new policy. Now therefore be it resolved November 13, 2025, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby adopts revisions and amendments to elevator platform lift policy as attached to the official minutes of this meeting, and resolve further, single source procurement shall be permitted in the acquisition and installation of mechanical lifts, and resolve further, Resolution 01-1885, adopted August 14, 2018, is hereby superseded and canceled, and resolved further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out this resolution. The September initial notification, should the board endorse the proposed revisions, staff recommends that a motion be made and seconded to accept the resolution and allow discussion to ensure the resolution reads to the satisfaction of the board. Staff recommends that a board member postpones the resolution to the next available board meeting with no less than 28 days from the postponement to comply with Civil Code 4360. I move this resolution.
Any second? Okay, Jeannie seconded. All right, any question, discussion? Yes, can you please, Alan, come stand up and get our question. All right, Tom and Tony and Jeannie. All right, Tom.
Yeah, Alan, did you ever get requests for a lift without a verifiable
Disability?
disability? Yeah.
No, the policy currently reads that the member must provide evidence of an appropriate need.
But do you ever get requests for a lift from a non-verifiable disability person?
Not to my knowledge. If it was non-verifiable per the policy or the standard, it couldn't go any farther. It needs to be verifiable and confidential.
All right, Tony is next.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Why don't, even though I'm on that board, the more I think about this, the more I think our lawyer is incorrect. Why can't we insist on a hold harmless being signed by the contractor to protect us from malpractice or bad installation or third-party lawsuits?
I don't have a direct answer to that question. If you're regarding the contractors hired to do the work,
I would suspect, yes, if the contractor comes in, does something wrong, or something goes wrong with it, or if the manufacturer of the lifts has done something wrong, I believe we should have a hold harmless signed. And I know Beaumont disagrees with me, but the more I think about this, and even though I chair that committee, I have some heartburn about this whole thing. Thank you.
Jeannie, did you have a question?
I did, and it's more an understanding of the policy, which, based upon the verbiage here, I may not understand correctly. It sounds like we are asking the person who's making the request, and only the person making the request, the member making the request, to pay for the lift. Is that a change from our current policy of having the entire building contribute to the lift?
no, that's not a change. So to recap, simply what's posted now are two documents that deal with lifts and lifts policy. One is existing standard 13, which reads lifts and lifts policy, but there's also a second document, proposed mechanical lift policy, which by its title could be somewhat confusing. So this is on the agenda this morning to consolidate those two existing documents into one document. There is one minor change in that process. On the existing policy on page 8 of 24, if you care to look at that, item number 7 states that a final approval, the staff will obtain all permits or licenses necessary for the installation and ongoing operation of the lift prior to final inspection of the construction and the awarding of a certificate of occupancy and operating permit. There is no certificate of occupancy required for this. A CFO is a city requirement. There is a state-regulated division that governs all elevator lifts. So that the new policy has been amended to appropriate governing agencies to approval. Those are basically the changes. We're just consolidating that one lift. And this happened as a side, Building 86 just finished their installation of a lift and went through these documents. And in reviewing these documents, it made the change warranted. So in that particular instance, there was a member that put up the initial deposit, which is a non-refundable deposit. They went through that phase. The project division is the division that handles all the lifts through the awarding or hiring of engineers or architects, and then the awarding of a bid to do the work. That project ended up where all 4 members on the level of the elevator being served contributed to the overall cost of the elevator. The costs were about $100,000
Oh, my God.
all total. And so the policy reads that the member pays that, but once it's completed, operation, maintenance, and responsibility now is transferred to the United Mutual.
Correct. So they don't have to pay for it, they just have to approve it.
I'm sorry?
The other members don't have to help pay for it, but they do have to approve it.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, Charlie.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Madam President. So what you're asking is this to take that last sentence there. Staff will obtain all permits and licenses necessary for installation, ongoing operation of the lift. And that's where you would like us to end that sentence, and we should strike prior to the final inspection of the construction and the awarding of the certificate of occupancy and operating permit. Is that correct?
Strike the whole thing.
Yes, that is not required.
Okay.
And it's a city requirement
Okay.
for a building final.
Okay, so
There is a separate state agency that governs the elevators.
do I do an amendment to this? Is that what we need to do?
What page are you
8 of 24, 12E.
on? 8 of 24, 12E has 6, 7, and 8 of it. So is that gonna be-
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll look at paragraph 7. Do we need a motion to strike that last sentence, half of it?
No motion is required.
No.
If you
Okay.
look at the proposed
Yeah.
final
Okay.
Right.
policy now, it's one policy, on page 21 of 24,
Yeah,
item number 5
Okay.
yeah,
is the corrected verbiage
right.
that eliminates that.
So it's
Yeah.
already there.
It's already
Right
there.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a red line
Great.
version.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Any other question, comment? Okay, hearing none, let us vote. If you consent the motion, say yes. If not, say no. Okay, 8-1, motion passes. Thank you. All right, thank you, Alan, for your work. All right, we've finished new business, so are we ready to take a little break in minutes? Yes. All right, thank you. Yes.
It's got my, funny.
let us continue on to the United Committee reports, item 13. A, report of the Finance Committee and financial report. Director Prater.
Thank you, Madam President. Get the slides up here in a second. Here we go. All right. This report is for the ending of July 31st, 2025, okay? So slide 1 here, through the reporting period that we just mentioned, July 31st, total revenue for United was $36.1 million compared to expenses of $33.7, resulting in a net revenue of $2.3 million positive. Okay. Next slide. Oop. There we go. All right. That's slide 3. Can we go back to 2? There we go. 1 was the one that we didn't see. Okay, this is slide 2. Here we go. We're keeping an eye on the operating portion of the financial results. The operating fund shows a surplus of 1.7 through the reporting period. This table is actually showing us how much of the revenue went into operations, with 17.2 coming in from the assessments, $960,000 coming in from non-assessments revenue, and is compared to an operating expenditures of 16.4. This table takes the full income statement and compares those results to the budget. We can see that United ended the period better than budget by $328,000 when combining all funds. The most significant advances from the budget were attributed to the following. Be slide number 4. Oops. There we go. All right. The employee compensation is favorable, resulting primarily in the maintenance and the construction department due to open positions. These areas include carpentry, appliance, paint, and plumbing. Recruitment definitely is in process, and I know that they are interviewing potential employees as we speak. Material and supplies, $472K favorable. That's the good maintenance and construction due to the timing involved programs such as interior components, electrical appliance, and paint. Okay, number 4. We're still there. 5. Okay, there we go. Thank you. On the pie chart, we show non-assessment revenues earned to date of 1.2 revenue, organized as categories starting with their largest revenue joining category fees and changes to residents, followed by investment income, laundry, and everything, and so forth. Okay. This table shows the same 1.2 million of non-assessment revenue as presented in the previous slide, and compares it to current year's budget and the prior year's budget. There's the pie chart that we see, the expenses to date of 33.7 million, showing that our largest categories, again, is employee compensation, followed by property tax, outside services, insurance, and utilities, and a couple other small ones. This table shows the same $33.7 million expense as presented in the previous pie chart and compares it to the current year budget and the prior year's year-to-date actuals. Okay. Our financial balances are shown here. Contingency fund balance on July 31st was $665,000. Contributions collected totaled $66,000, and no expenditures have been incurred to date. The reserve fund balance as of July 31st was $13.6 million. Contributions and investment revenue collected $8.8 million, while expenditures were $8.2. We compare these non-operating fund balances to historical fund balances on the 5 years of this chart, which is average of, has an average of 18.1. But you can see the line that we've changed there. It's 30. We're now at 30% target revenue study of 14.5. This table illustrates the schedule of repayment of the temporary borrowing from the reserve fund. United has always kept a close look on this repayment and any borrowed monies from the reserve fund. On April 8th, the board approved the temporary borrowing of the reserve for $6.5 million. The borrowed monies scheduled to be paid back in full by October 31st. We have a table here that shows the resale history from 2023 to 2025. Through July 31st, United sales totaled 184, which is 30 fund resales less than the prior year for the same period. The average year-to-date resale price for the United banner was $396,000, which is $6,000 more than prior year at the same period.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions for our Mr.
Any questions?
I have a comment.
Yes.
You know, in light of the previous conversations that we've had, both within ourselves and from members, and I think Murad was the one that brought this up, looking at resale, we see it going down.
Right.
However, I'd like to know what the rentals would be for that same period, because are we, to further explain why we're losing sales, is it possible that they're going to rental or they're not, which means we have a problem? Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Rental
I
is
follow
going
exactly
up.
what you mean, and I think that's a good question. And I think what I'll do is I will get with Steve on that and see if we can add that information.
Right,
But
as
for the
part
next,
of
yes.
the cockpit here, the little
Yeah.
snapshot.
No, I think that's,
Graph is here, you know?
Okay, just across from here,
yeah.
though, as we can
We
see.
can add that. I think that's a good thing
Okay.
that we can see.
It's just a great snapshot.
Compare what's going on in that.
Sure.
Madam Chair?
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Yes, Murad?
I just wanted to let Jeannie know that we do have the answer. If you go to the monthly resale report, just a couple pages later, it says that through August, we had 34 less resale transactions this year than last year.
Page?
what page number is that?
That's agenda item 13A, page 1 out of 2.
I can't hear it. Page what? Page what?
Agenda item 13A, page 1 of 2.
13A.
13A, 3.
Number 3.
It looks like a list of numbers.
13.
Yes, so it shows that we have 34 less transactions through August in resales this year through last year, compared to last year, which means that our contribution to the GRF Trust Facilities Fees Fund is down $255,000.
That's the implication, yeah.
We need to make that up. And if you look at the following page, it shows that rentals are 38 transactions compared to last year.
Yeah.
So people clearly are preferring to rent rather than buy, and our fees need to accommodate
Like that.
Yeah.
So I think we should definitely look into it.
And I think GRF is addressing that situation in
Yes.
terms of their what do you call it?
Transfer fee.
Transfer fee,
Yeah.
right?
All right, thank you. Any other questions for Charlie? Otherwise, thank you very much, Mr. Pereira. And let's move on to item number B, 13B, Report of Architectural Control and Standard Committee, Director Liberato.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. We had no request for alterations, and our next meeting will be on September the 18th at 9:30 here in this hall, in this room. Thank you.
Thank you. Report of Member Hearing Committee, Director Blackwell.
Well, we heard members.
Good report.
Good report.
And we gave them some advice and some education rulings. It's an interesting committee, not the happiest one. But
Right. Thank you. Go on. I'll continue to report of the Governing Doc Review Committee.
All right, we read and discussed part of our product today. And
yes.
so that was a very good thing on elections. We will meet again September 18th at September 18th.
All right,
Which
thank
is
you.
one day before my knee surgery.
Oh. We pray for you. All right. E, report of the Landscape Committee. Director Kwam, is it Xian? No. Otherwise, who was there?
I was.
Okay.
Charlie.
All right.
And the results of our work on that committee, we voted on today as well. I meant to comment during it. Why were we getting rid of 4 blue gum eucalyptus trees, you may ask?
Right.
It's because the blue gum eucalyptus tree was the culprit in the laundry room. It fell on that laundry room. Subsequent investigation of the 4 blue gum eucalyptus trees determined that they were a hazard.
Yes.
And potential risk. So for that reason, landscaping came to us and asked if we would agree with removing them, and of course, we agreed, which is what you guys just voted on earlier today, to remove
Right.
them.
Thank you. Right. 13F, report of the Maintenance and Construction Committee.
Oh, can I do one more, because
sure.
Sue's not here, but I know this is near and dear to her heart. Landscape turf reduction. So one of the things that we're doing that, again, thank God for Kurt, Kurt brought to us a little less than 1,000 square feet of small green spaces. And when I say small, it's things that they have to mow, but literally, it's these little pie-shaped, weird little things by sidewalks that take up more time to maintain than really, do anything else. So he brought in 1,000 square feet with pictures of all of these different places, and asked if we would allow him to remove the lawn, the grass, and put in, I always forget the name of it, some type of a green
Drought
tolerant that would still provide the color but not require the maintenance, slow growing, drought tolerant and all of that. So we, of course, immediately jumped on that and approved that. And not only that, we asked him to come back next month with another 1,000 square feet of those little types of green spaces that are more effort than anything to keep up. And we would review those and potentially ask them to replace those as well.
Right, and one other note on that, this 1,000, 10,000?
It was 962 or something like that.
We were very fortunate because he found a rebate that we will get, because it costs us $6 per square foot to remove this turf. He found a $5 rebate through the state.
So we clipped the coupon.
So we took them up on it, and this is going to be very beneficial to us, not only in the long run, but immediately we're saving $5 out of every $6 we're spending. So that was
And
a
we're
good
getting
thing.
in compliance with AB
And we're
1572.
working on the compliance, yep.
Thank you. Georgiana?
Excuse me, normally rebates like that come with some kind of a caveat. In other words, they'll do it for so many or for a certain amount of money. Is there a limit? There's got to be a limit. What is it?
Well, he used the limit on this, for this one rebate. The rebates are coming in slowly. It's not just, here's $30 million to spend on rebates, okay? He picked up on this and was able to do it with this 9,000 square feet.
And we also, a resident suggested a dog park located in United, and for reasons that were well documented, we suggested that they take their request to GRF and that it would not be appropriate in the United Mutual.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to MNC Committee report. That's by me. We had several agenda items. We were reported called 72 paving inspection result. And also laundry room 94 rebuild update. Remember the big tree has fallen on there, and it was rebuild. It was in the process of rebuilding and almost finished up now.
Yes.
So we saw the picture, and everything is in good shape now. And also, we were oriented of ETW, the Aliso Creek Sewer Lift Station project updates. It's going to be a long project. It will take 2 or 3 years. So it's still the beginning stage of the project. So we were warned or alerted that it's coming soon again. Well, in-house versus outside vendor for dry down, dehumidifier equipment rental. And where we were given all the information about how much, but it was still, it doesn't make much sense. So we request some more information and the cost of the in-house, outsources, the labor cost, so on, so on. The equipment itself does not make much sense, so we need further information. And in closed session, wash and dryer, that pilot project, some of the proposal has come, but again, it's not the stage that we make a final decision because we need a little more further information, how much we can subsidize or save the money for the residents and so on. So it will come. All right, next meeting will be Wednesday, October 22nd, 9:30 a.m. in this room. That's MNC Committee report and United Energy Subcommittee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We're small like Mighty Mouse, but we are mighty.
Good. Yes, a lot of information. Yes.
And it's we're going to have another meeting. It's very exciting because there's a lot of research going on in this solar thing that we're all batting around. And we're also going to talk about SoCal Edison. So our next meeting is August, I'm sorry, I can't see it here. Yeah, the 28th at 1:30 in this room. And it's an open meeting. Invite everybody to attend because there's a lot of things going on in solar. Thank you.
August 28th is already passed, so it's going to be TBD. To be
September.
arranged.
Yeah, I'm sorry, to be determined, but I also asked staff to make sure we have the meeting before the next M&C meeting so that we can
Right.
report to the M&C committee our findings. And then we become advise and consent. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of information. It was very helpful, and there are many advisors or the residents who has expertise in this area. They participated, which has been very helpful. Thank you, Tony. And let's move on to report of United Resident Advisory Committee, Director Willis.
The next meeting is this Thursday in the Elm Room from 4 to 5. So if you have something that's fallen between the cracks that you'd like us to look into, feel free to come by. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to item number 14, GLF Committee highlights. Okay, first one is Finance. GLF Finance Committee. Director Kesby was there, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Madam President.
Wait, your microphone, please.
It's on. So.
Would you
Come
move it
close.
closer?
So the Madam President, the GRF Finance Committee met on August 20th, 2025, and reviewed the GRF July 31 financial statements. The committee also passed 2 motions. The first proposed the increase of the trust facilities fee to 2% of a manor's resale price effective January 1, 26. This motion will be going to the board in October after legal counsel approves the verbiage. And the second motion was to defund about $1.8 million in reserve expenditure items from the equipment fund and the facilities fund. The next meeting of the Finance Committee will take place on October 15th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. in the boardroom and as a virtual meeting. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. B, report of the Community Activity Committee, Director Costello.
Thank you, Madam President. Some updates. The Performing Arts Center Music Room opened this past month in a trial room reservation drop-in hybrid model, and for the next 6 months, we'll review how that's working. Clubhouse 4 planters were replanted and looking very good. Clubhouse 4 itself got a nice facelift. Jewelry room has new lighting. Clubhouse 4 parking lot has been resurfaced, and the pool water heater has been repaired. We are also in the process of adding an AED location on the pickleball courts. So we're in the process of looking at that. And in case you haven't noticed, the golf courses are under course setup mowing patterns. They're really working now with Troon after this amount of time to see what we're doing right, stop, start, do more of this, do less of that type of thing. So that was a good update from her. The big topic of conversation, though, was lifeguard services. It was proposed that we reduce either the hours of the pools or the number of lifeguards, and in some cases removing them altogether at various pools. This would have an impact of about $250,000, $240,000 in savings to GRF. Lots of discussion, lots of opinions on either side. Ultimately, it was voted down. And our next meeting is Thursday, September 11th.
Thank you. Landscaping Committee, GLF. Sue is not here, so Jeannie, were you there?
No, I was not at the Golden Rain Foundation.
Oh, okay. Who was attending?
Well, but I can read. I mean,
I was there.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So we met June 16th. We discussed Aliso Creek again, of course, maintenance and so on, and bird nesting. That was the issue then. We have to be careful. The budget was presented, and the PowerPoint on the Part 3 renovations, featuring before and after photos to illustrate the improvements. It's been a while since that has been improved. Okay. Our next meeting is Wednesday, August 13th, which is pretty soon, at 1:30.
Thank you.
August 13th?
Yep.
I know that's what it says.
It says I should.
But we're in September now.
Right?
Oh, we're in September. Well, okay.
November, next meeting. Next meeting is November 12th.
November
Right,
12th. Okay.
November 12th?
Right.
Okay.
Okay, report of GLF MNC meeting. That's me. We discuss a lot of items, asphalt and concrete replacement and scheduling and site selection discussion, and fireproofing curtains at the pit path. Discussion was made, and general scheduling of recurring maintenance capital items discussion. I think some of the items were cut down, with the budget and so on. And heat pump, water heater, grant discussion. And curb cut request on Via Serena. As a person who is handicapped and I tried to ride off in wheelchair, she requests right away, but we decide to postpone until 2028. That's a regular schedule of the payment. Then at that time, we will not have to spend extra money. And Pool 2, replastering scope of work. And Pool 6, replastering scope of work. And Pool chemical storage, distribution scope of work. And packed electrical scope of work has been discussed. A lot of discussion. It was a long meeting. Anyway, next meeting will be, again, I think October 22nd.
It says October 8th.
This is 8th.
Yeah.
October, I think next meeting is, no? Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, October. Yeah, security committee, that's coming. That is August 27. It's, again, It's regular, meeting of the security report and camera, so on. There was nothing new. And I brought the coyote issue again from the United Mutual and to the security. We need more patrolling and maybe hazing stuff and so on. And they agreed. And also the report of the, I also asked categorize separate reports as Francis reported earlier, the compliance report, so on. So I covered that, and they said yes. That was the security committee, security and access committee report, and again, that is October 26th, 9:30. I think in the afternoon. Okay, in the morning, our MNC committee, and in the afternoon, GRF, security and access committee, the same day. Okay, Laguna Woods Village traffic hearing.
You missed it. You
Do we skip
You skipped
mobility.
Broadband, right.
Well, you missed
motility. Okay, space planning. Well, space planning committee have not met until September, so we will meet there. And report of mobility and vehicle committee, Director Costello.
Yes, thank you. We met on August 6th. Jose Campos, the new Director of General Services, provided the committee with an overview of the Laguna Woods Village transportation ridership for the fixed route journey and boost programs, as they do every time. Mr. Campos provided dates and locations for the upcoming transportation pop-up booth. And based upon commentary from the advisors and from the members, we requested a comprehensive review of the after-hours services provided by Boost. As you know, the fixed route goes from a certain time, and I think it's 8 to 5. But there was a request or a comment that if the fixed rider program, the buses would operate longer, more people would be able to participate in the evening events. Because the Boost program does not allow, say, for example, somebody in a wheelchair with a walker, sometimes with a dog, to be able to use their lift cars. So we asked for an overview of when the most Boost ridership is requested, and potentially finding a trend that would support. There's somebody looking in the window at us. A little creepy. Here's Johnny. That would be able to. There's a guy staring at me. And potentially find a trend that may support altering or adding hours to the fixed rider program in support of our members and residents who may need that. Our next meeting is Wednesday, November 5th.
Thank you. Let's move on to the broadband committee. Director Tuning, sorry, is that I skipped you?
No
I mean,
problem.
Temperature, this high temperature makes me confused. Okay.
I
Mr.
think you're
Tuning.
finding that VMS and Ting are doing a pretty good job getting information out on the broadband changes and everything. We just want to encourage residents to provide access to the needed installation. For the manor, they have to install near electrical outlets and near the entrance, so you can't request just any place in your unit that you want to see the box put in. So the next meeting's October 8th, and it's in the boardroom, 1:30 p.m.
Thank you. Let's move on to the security community access. I already done it. And then Laguna Woods Village traffic hearing. Director Kale, were you there? Okay.
No,
No?
I was. It's not working. Actually, I could not make the last meeting,
Okay.
and Maggie took my place instead.
All right.
But there's a new next meeting on September 17th.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Maggie.
I was there. We find people that run stop signs again. It was a successful meeting, but
Stop running stop
They're-
signs.
We're not making them drive any safer.
No.
They're not leaving early enough. Leave early. That's the whole clue, leave early. I need to remember that myself. Thank you.
Thank you. Report of disaster preparedness task force, Director Willis.
Yes, the next meeting is on September 30th at 9:30 in the morning here in the boardroom. And I'd also like to mention that on October 16th, there's the Great American Shakeout, or California Shakeout,
Right.
which is more related to earthquakes. But also, if anyone's interested in volunteering to be part of the task force in the event of some kind of emergency, we can always use more people. Thank you.
Thank you. And then finally, report of Information Technology Advisory Committee, Director Tuning.
All right, you already heard that the AP module was being implemented and working. It's a little later than planned, but it's more important to see the quality over the timing. And that's really the case on future items that are going in. It's more important to see it go in error-free than it is to just meet a schedule. You'll see the benefits of this ERP system as the VMS staff is trained in that, which will take a little time. But again, it's taking more time to implement the system than desired, but it's more important to be thoroughly tested and implemented than to meet a schedule. So that's it on the Information Technology Committee.
Thank you very much. Any comment on the committee report? Georgiana, yeah?
Yeah, I just had a question related to that system. Do people that we're hiring to use it or come in and take positions where they would be using it, are there many that experienced on that particular software?
They're very experienced, but as with most consultants in that industry, they're very expensive too compared to our internal staff. So the key there is to get the important elements that they have to do implemented, and then the VMS staff will do a lot of the legwork and everything that they're capable of doing. So cost is pretty tight,
It was
schedule
too
is
high, I
tight,
thought,
but
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
good question.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, next, future agenda items. All matters listed under future agenda items are resolutions on 28-day public review or items for a future board meetings. No action will be taken by the board on these agenda items. At this time, the board will take action on these items at a future board meeting. Number one, amended membership election and voting policy and revision to Standard 13 lift policy will be the future agenda item. Is there any other future agenda items? None? Okay. Now, let's move on to director's comment. 2 minutes per director. Tony. Yes, Tony.
Thank you, Madam President. I have two United residents coming to me. They're frustrated. You know, some people spend their day golfing, some people spend their day swimming, some people spend their day on the horse. These two individuals spend their days in the wood shop. And we have talked today in the last meeting we had about health and safety. And there's a health and safety issue there in that wood shop that's not being addressed by GRF. And so these two residents that I, as a fiduciary, have to take care of are complaining to me. And we don't want to hear that they're working on its health and safety. It should be done right now. And one example of how to do it is right there, contingency fund. So that system over there should be dealt with right now. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Murad.
Thank you, Madam President. Just looking ahead past 26, already thinking about the 27 budget, as we look into the reserve analysis that was given to us, we see that the level of expenditures, reserve expenditures, is for 27 and 28 is $3 million above 26 in each one of those years. Mm-hmm. But when we look at the reserve assessments in the analysis that was given to us, in 27 it was up only $1 million and in the second year only 2 million, which means we're going to have a downfall of 2 million in 27 and 1 million in 28. Yet, Madam President, we have a motion that requires us to balance assessments and expenditures. That is going to cause significant increases those years. So I just want to remind us all of that potential matter.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, the finance committee has to work very hard. Thank you very much.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Jeannie.
And I have a separate, similar comment to our director. Regarding the budget, thank you so much. Thank for everybody here. Thanks to VMS for working so hard to keep the expenses as tight as they possibly could be. However, when preparing for the 2027 budget for United, I would request, and I hope that we're all similar, that VMS continue to offer the same services and service levels as planned for 2026. We're talking about 2027 now, but target a 5% cost reduction for those services compared to 2026. Obviously, this will require VMS to rethink how it goes about delivering its services and implementing efficiencies and productivity to meet this request. That's number one. Number two is, in case you didn't know, we had a lot of activity and excitement in cul-de-sac 210 this past week. We had a huge carport fire. It was devastating to those who lost their vehicles. Probably the carport itself will need to be rebuilt. It is so bad. And they immediately targeted the cause, which was a lithium-charged battery in a golf cart that had been left on for too long. Just a cautionary tale to any of us who have a lithium-powered golf cart. You cannot leave it on the charger ad nauseum. You need to take it off. The batteries get very hot, and unfortunately, it's causing a lot of devastation to a lot of people here because of that. So that's my little,
Thank you.
public
Any
service
more
announcement.
comment? No comment?
Sometimes those EV charging vehicles spontaneously combust. That happens occasionally.
In this
too.
case, it was a
battery.
lithium battery that was in a golf cart.
Thank you. All right, no more comment. My comment is, again, thank you for the successful year as a board. So each one of you were great partners, and we worked together very hard. And of course, the staff's help was mostly appreciated and very, very essential. And then to the resident, thank you for your giving us attention, and thank you from time to time sending me a personal email or encountering somewhere that you appreciate our work. So it was very, very encouraging and very hopeful for our board and for our residents to get involved and work for the betterment of our community. Thank you. All right, then no more comment, then we will go into
One more comment.
Oh, okay.
Vote once. Vote once. Vote.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, we will go to the recess. And what time is now? 12 o'clock sharp, so 12:30?
12:30 is fine.
Yes, we will have a lunch break, and then we'll come back to the session, 12:30. The meeting is in recess. Thank you.